Hi, everybody. Today we are talking about service for clients. This is Rinmac Consulting. We specialize in staffing, digital marketing, SEO, and general business consulting. So I think one of the things that we underestimate is the power of a survey. And what a survey does for you is it helps you as a company understand what your clients need, what your customers need, what your customers are facing. So we tend not to leverage this tool, but this is one of the most powerful tools because if you can find the pain points of your customer, you are more likely to resolve their problem much more efficiently. And furthermore, clients in general do love to be heard. They love to vent. They love to hear somebody, or rather, they love to talk about what they're facing and have somebody listen with a careful ear and try to resolve their problem. So this is a short video that's going to talk about that. So first thing, obviously, um, the thing about doing servers is you gotta have the right questions to ask. What are the pain points of your client? What is he facing? What are some of the challenges? What are some of the things they would like to offload off their plate so that they can focus on their core competencies? There's things like SEO, there's things like um, social media marketing, all these new ideas, new technologies that are coming into play that many customers don't want to deal with because they want to focus on their core competence, which is making money. Say, for instance, if you are in technology, you have cloud technologies, blockchain technology. All these things are constantly changing, and so uh, customers want somebody who can fix their problem, so they can focus on what they do best. So if there's a technology that they need to leverage, but they don't want to spend the time focusing on that, you would come in there and say, hey, I'm going to take care of this because this seems to be a pain point for you. So I will focus on taking care of this piece while you focus on your core competences. So, first thing when you're doing a survey is coming up with a list of questions. You can track this in a spreadsheet and refine what questions to ask. So, say for instance, you have a customer. The first question you want to find out is what is the most pressing problem. If I'm a tech company, I'm facing a lot of problems with my clients who have a lot of equipment on site. So that is a pain point for me. I don't want to have to support my clients keeping all their equipment or their data on site. Okay, that's a good point. Okay, I have a solution for you. So when a customer talks to you about what they're facing, you get a better understanding and you get a better idea of what a good solution would be. So, oh yeah, I'm keeping so much data on my in my offices, in my data center, uh, and to be honest, I don't know if the building caught fire one day, what would happen to my data? Okay, you as a tech company, then you would come in and say, hey, I have a solution for you. Let's move all your data to the cloud where there's redundancy, where there's availability of your data, not based on location. So if say for instance, one of the public cloud providers is AWS, if my data center goes down in Virginia, um, me as AWS, I have several clouds and my data is replicated across different locations. So Virginia might go down, but Florida will be up, or Arizona will be up, or San Francisco will be up, and so on and so forth. So ask the pressing questions. Then, of course, the second question is how can I help solve it, which is in this example of data backups you have. Okay, I'm going to have a cloud provider that can take my data to the cloud so I don't have to worry about data on premise. three, what difference is it going to make for me? Well, obviously you have less things to worry about. You don't have to worry about your data center catching fire and things like that. Yeah. And then of course, in the lastly, when you're doing a survey, when you send it out, uh, you want people to be proactive and say, yes, I would like to be contacted back um, after they respond to your survey. Because if you don't have that information and you don't get an idea for who's interested, some people will say, well, I'm glad you sent me this, but I'm not interested in your solution. But here's my feedback on the situation. So it's always good to make that proactive step and say, hey, add your email below if you want to be contacted, or say have a question in there that says, um, click yes if you want to be contacted. All right, so that's about the questions. They're very key. Then, so some of the tools that you'd use to create a survey are Google Forms. I use Google Forms all the time. For you who've never used, if you've never used Google Forms to create a survey, just go into your Google search and search for Google Forms. It will come up very self-explanatory. It gives you options for either setting up quizzes, assessments, or just doing a blank survey. So that's what I use. I just do a blank survey and I put in my questions there. So, say for instance, if I'm dealing with SEOs, I'll talk about, say, for client who's not familiar with SEOs, I would obviously, start with questions like, does SEO make sense to you? And then give them some options, somewhat, not quite, I need help. Uh, would you be interested? Maybe the second question would be, would you be interested in an SEO demo? And obviously, the questions would be not really, I mean, the answers would be not really, yes, definitely need help, and so on and so forth. And so you have that leverage, you have those options within Google Forms, which is the beauty of it. So, and then obviously, once you set up your survey, within Google Forms, it gives you an option to send the survey. So obviously, you have to have a contact list. So, or just copy the URL and share it in Instagram, or you can put it as part of. You have the option to use an embedded URL or embedded code that you can paste into your website, and it will show up on your website. So there's several ways to share uh, that survey. And obviously, some of the tools, if you have a contact list, you can get that server shared via MailChimp. MailChimp is a free option. Of course, within MailChimp, you have to upload the contacts. So this is an extra step, but MailChimp is very professional. When it sends out information, it's pretty intuitive. So people might ask, okay, how do I come up with a mailing list? Mailing list is fairly simple to do. You can go into your LinkedIn contacts, you can go into your Google contacts, those that are professional contacts. You can go into um, Facebook groups and post uh, this URL for a server and just say, hey guys, I'm trying to gauge for what the pain points are as far as this technology, as far as this issue that many customers are facing. And that way you have feedback either from your LinkedIn group, Facebook group, you have uh, your Gmail contacts or your email contacts that are business professional. And of course, you can buy contact lists. I've leveraged um, contact lists from Lead 411, which has been very ideal. But yeah, so that's about surveys and getting a hang of using them, and how they make your life much easier. They get a better understanding for the pain points that your customers are facing, and they help you uh, come up with a solution that's catered to a customer rather than just a blank solution that doesn't really fit into their company. So, thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, just feel free to email me or send me some messages on YouTube. Thank you.